Hey guys, it's Becky with the good hair, and if you saw a couple videos ago, I did a video called Guns Suck, and the gun nuts came for me, and I want to stir things up again, and I wanted to basically read stuff gun nuts say and read comments that I got. And these are comments I pulled pretty much from mostly the YouTube video itself, somewhere even from Tumblr, because apparently gun nuts like to hang out on Tumblr, and they stumbled across my video and did not appreciate it, and so they got really mad. I just want to read some of my favorite comments for you guys and maybe give a little bit of my commentary back. So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a good time. I'm kind of excited for this because there were some interesting comments. All right, so let's get started. So the first one is a little bit threatening. So we'll start off with a bang, if you will. Criminals don't follow the law. Why don't people realize this fact? Everyone watching this now knows you don't arm yourself, and I wouldn't advertise that you cannot protect yourself for your own safety. Think about it. So this person is trying to say that not arming yourself and advertising that you don't arm yourself with a weapon, in this case a gun, means that you have it coming. If you are shot, if somebody locates you and you die, or somebody commits violence against you and you're not armed, or you advertise that you were not armed with a gun, that's concerning. That you really think that anybody who doesn't own a gun has it coming, or that if you advertise that you're not armed, that you have it coming. If somebody locates you and tries to commit violence against you, pretty scary rhetoric to perpetuate online to a stranger, and that's also a really terrifying idea to have in your brain. You think that just everybody needs to be armed, and that if they're not, it's going to be their own fault if something happens to them because they weren't armed. So that's pretty scary. So yeah, so that's off to a great start. Next one is somebody who decided to write essays on my YouTube video. So I'm not going to read you everything, and honestly, I didn't read everything because they were very long and a lot of it is kind of gobbledygook. So I'm not going to read everything, and I never did because I don't got time for that. So I'll just give you a little taste of what this person said. Number one, you need to understand that it is your generation that is doing the vast majority of the shooting. Your omission of per capita in comparisons on any scale, in any category or time frame are self-defeating. You will never be in a position to correctly psychoanalyze everyone else who disagrees with your emotionalisms. I cited statistics and numbers in my video, so I don't know why this person is calling them emotionalisms. But all right. And we were talking about gun violence, so I don't know how you think that nobody would get emotional about people being slaughtered. So if you don't think that people should be emotional about people being slaughtered, then obviously you have some problems if you think everyone should be void of emotion. Because being void of emotion is a problem in itself. That's not healthy, to not have any emotions. So I find that kind of questionable and kind of concerning that you think that people should be void of emotion when they're speaking. So that's a little bit strange. Number two, projecting your generation's inability to take personal responsibility for your own actions on everyone else speaks to, at least in part, the indoctrination of socialism, grotesque sense of self-entitlement, gender confusion, don't know what that has to do with gun violence, promiscuity, don't know about that one either, the side effects of psychotropics coupled with the underlying mental illness, and a growing list of depravities starting in primary schools. Okay. And then he talks about liberals dominating the educational system because that is relevant. Alcohol and opioids, inbreds. So, totally strong arguments that person was making. And I also want to read another comment that they made when they were talking to someone else. And they were talking about me in the comment section. So they said, she epitomizes her generation, which is a product of the left's domination of the education sector. Socialism indoctrination is a brainwashing for disaster. We live in America. We don't have enough socialism in this country. So I don't know why you're obsessed with socialism, but more socialism in this country would be a good thing in regards to gun violence. Because if we had universal health care, people would be able to go to the doctor. They'd be able to get counseling more easily. Just a thought. And then he continues, homeschooled children who are simply taught real history. I wonder what they mean by real history. Higher level math, college level English will dominate as their public school counterparts will have IQs below 100 for the rest of their lives. So in response to me saying that regulation would help with gun violence, this person said, no, it won't. It's gonna be worse if you add regulations. You're keeping everyone from owning guns and criminals won't give up their guns. Look at California, school shooting and ex dying from a gun. They're gonna want that so you won't be able to defend yourself, and they're always gonna get guns, making them or buying them illegally so the FBI won't try and find them. A lot of countries have a mass shooting epidemic. I didn't say all the people, but you know, if you want for your freedoms to be taken away, and Australia has a lot of shootings and they banned guns to the point they went to people's homes and threw them away, but it'll be worse without guns. But if someone's breaking into your home, I'll bet you'll will grab your M9 and aim for their head. Keep in mind, that's all one sentence. All of it. All of it. That was one solitary sentence. Besides apostrophes here and there, not another piece of punctuation was in there. It's the longest sentence I think I've ever read in my life. Oh my gosh, I'm like out of breath. So they're just being inaccurate about Australia, obviously, because they just have more strict gun regulation. They didn't just come to throw guns away and burn them all in a stockpile and then they have no guns anymore. That's not what happened, and you're just fear-mongering and getting all the other gun nuts riled up. So that's not at all what happened in Australia. So I don't know why all these people don't have access to Google. What's going on, gun nuts? How are you guys able to comment but you can't Google? It's just a bunch of gobbledygook. Like, none of it's just so funny. These people are so confused. They're so confused and so inaccurate. But it was really funny because after that, I told them that obviously they didn't seem to watch my video because they were talking about banning guns. And in my video, I know it's long, but I did not say once in that entire video, even in the stuff I didn't put in the final video, I never once in that entire video say, let's ban guns, guys. I specifically said that we cannot ban guns because it's impossible. There are 300 million guns in this country or more. So that is virtually impossible to do that, and it is a conspiracy theory perpetuated by gun nuts that people like me want to ban guns. It is a complete conspiracy theory. I never said it in my entire video. I've never said it anywhere on social media, ever. But it was clear that this person didn't watch my video. So I told them that, and then they said, you're welcome. I didn't watch the video. It would waste my time. Guns equals safety. Next time, send a nice comment that you understand you were wrong instead of shut me down. That was also one sentence, by the way. And I think it's funny that not only do they admit they didn't watch the video, but they also want me to apologize for being wrong when they don't know what my points were because they didn't watch the video in the first place. So how do you know I'm wrong when you didn't watch the video that you're commenting on? Why would I apologize when you don't even know what my thoughts are? You don't know what my opinions are on guns because you said you didn't watch the video. I guarantee you what you did was you read the title, freaked out and got triggered, pun intended, and left comments about how we shouldn't ban guns. Hint, maybe watch the video first, then comment. And I'm sure you'll say the same thing, but it's hilarious that they admitted that they didn't watch the video and wanted me to apologize for being wrong when I was actually right. So that's hilarious. So the next comment someone said was, "You have all the answers. You should run for president." And they meant that sarcastically, as in they don't think I should run for president and I don't have all the answers. And I never said I had all the answers and I don't want to run for president. So I'm going to move on to Tumblr for a hot minute. So someone said, "You're just a stupid F that doesn't know anything at all about owning a weapon or a gun for protection, sport, or hunting." I told you in the video that I don't own guns, that I've never owned guns. I don't hunt. I said that in my video, so thank you for telling me what I already know. And as a human, I know that I don't like people being slaughtered by guns and by the people who have them. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. But regardless, it's complete anarchy in America as far as gun regulation is concerned. There is no regulation. When you compare our country to other countries and other countries' laws as far as gun control. So I have a right to my opinion. You don't have to be a gun expert to know that you don't want people to be slaughtered and that you want things to change. I don't have to be a gun obsessed person to know that. So, interesting. Someone else commented on the Tumblr and said, someone else from Tumblr said, "Guns don't kill people. Crazy lunatics do." Oh my God, so brilliant. We haven't heard that one before. Yay, wow, round of applause, congratulations. And it's interesting because we can do this thing called regulate guns. And we can create these things called laws nationwide to make it more difficult for people to get the guns that crazy lunatics use to kill people with. Who'd have thunk it? Oh my God. It's amazing. Wow. It's like other countries already have it figured out and we're behind the times. Also from Tumblr, someone said, "If white privilege and self-entitlement was a personification, it would be you. Also, your voice is annoying." I never said I don't have white privilege, but I don't know what white privilege necessarily has to do with this video about guns. Me saying that I don't want people being slaughtered anymore is an example of being privileged and showing my white privilege and being entitled, self-entitled. Me saying that I don't want people to be slaughtered by guns in mass in this country anymore is being self-entitled. That would be the opposite of being self-entitled. That would be me showing more selflessness than selfishness. So I don't really understand their logic. And if you find my voice annoying, there's this thing on your computer or your phone where you can exit the video and the sound of my annoying voice ceases. So maybe try that next time. Someone else on Tumblr said, "Based on your video, it doesn't really seem like you're willing to listen to anyone who doesn't already share your opinions or open to discussion and have already written me off as someone who doesn't care about human lives just because I disagree with you," which is, of course, completely wrong. "It seems you are making this premature judgment without even being willing to consider points from the other side. I watched your entire video and listened to everything you said, and I hope that you will." This is probably, out of all the comments, this is probably the most well-articulated one. However, the other side of this gun control issue wants to do virtually nothing. And if you haven't been paying attention, newsflash, that hasn't been working for us because we've been doing that for a while. We've been playing your game and it is getting worse. Since I filmed that video, there have been at least 3 mass shootings, and one of them was in my state. And since I filmed that video, there was also, I believe, another shooting in my town. So we've been playing the game of let's do nothing for quite a while, and it's getting us nowhere. So I say that you should consider my view on doing something, because what we're doing right now is what you want, and it's not working. So my comments still stand. If you want to do nothing, nothing changes. You have to change something in order to get change. If we want the gun violence to stop, we have to do something. And that isn't happening yet. So you're showing, as far as being on the other side of this issue, that you're perfectly okay with this. You don't care about the gun violence. Because in order for it to change, we have to change something legislatively. We have to enact gun control laws nationwide, not statewide. So all your rants about gun-free zones and Chicago having gun laws and blah, 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 that's irrelevant because right now it's state to state. I'm asking for nationwide gun control laws where everything is the same nationwide so that we're not going to have these problems with Chicago having strict gun laws, but then the guns infiltrating into Indiana, from Indiana and Wisconsin. That's what I'm asking for. It's not that hard to figure out, but for some reason, you just want to dismiss this argument. So I've listened to the other side, and the other side wants to do nothing and also perpetuates myths and misinformation. So no, no, I'm not going to listen to the other side anymore because it's disingenuous. All the arguments I've seen all over my YouTube video, my Tumblr, my Twitter, wherever, none of the arguments are accurate, are articulated well. This is the best articulated argument I saw, and it didn't change my mind. It made me feel more strong in the way I feel. That obviously something needs to change because the other side offers no solutions. Zero. I haven't heard one argument saying, oh, like, you know, I don't want to enact gun control, but let's do this. I haven't heard anything. Nothing. Besides clear backpacks in schools. That's about it. And doesn't seem to be doing much for us. The next one says, guns save more lives than take. Not quite sure about that one. Of course, if we were talking inanimate objects, which is what a gun is. I like that they used witch, like a witch, you know? It's October, happy Halloween. Then you can't honestly make the argument in the first place. A gun can either save life or kill anyone on its own, right? Oh my God, it's brilliant. Never a better Statue of Liberty have I found yet that surpasses the Second Amendment. What about the First Amendment? The ability to defend yourself and family is priceless. You don't need a gun to do that. People suck. People kill people and use cars, truck, tricycle, hammer, and anything else that might be handy. God bless. No one's arguing that guns have legs and walk around and are personified. No one's personifying guns. However, let me take your example of trucks and cars. if we're going to compare cars and trucks to guns, which ones are more heavily regulated? I think it's cars and trucks. Because if you notice, in order to drive, you need a license. There are laws in place. With guns, they're not strictly regulated, and it's state to state. States that have lax gun laws are where people go to get guns and then bring them to states that have the strict gun laws. Like I said again, Chicago. That's why there is a lot of gun violence in Chicago, because it's surrounded by Wisconsin, Indiana, states that have lax gun laws. Again, I don't know why this is so complicated for gun nuts to understand, but here we are. Another comment was in response to someone else, but they quoted someone who had said, F the Second Amendment and the Constitution, period. And I'm not saying that I agree with that sentiment. That's what someone else said on my video. So someone had quoted that portion and then said, then leave the U.S., go live in North Korea or some other crap hole. I don't want to swear that much on my YouTube. Third world country. If you love being defenseless, useful idiot to the government. If you love being a defenseless, useful idiot to the government. Okay, the thing with the Constitution and amendments is they are amendments, which means it can be amended. I don't know if you understand that it's a working document. It's a living, breathing document, and that's how the Founding Fathers intended it to be. So the Second Amendment can be amended. Sure, it can be eliminated, but I'm not calling for that. I don't agree that it should be eliminated, but can it be amended and fixed? Of course it can, absolutely. To say otherwise is to be anti-American and not understand the way our democracy works, the way our government was created, what the Founding Fathers intended the Constitution to be. It's not written in stone, can't change it at the end. I mean, if you look at the history of the Constitution, we added amendments to give women rights, to give African Americans more right, the right to vote, for goodness sake. I mean, to end slavery. It's a joke for people to be so obsessed with the Second Amendment and not understand that, yeah, it can be amended. No, we don't want to take it away. I don't want to take it away. But to just act like it can never be changed, it's honestly not true. Just because the Second Amendment exists doesn't mean we can't regulate guns and that it has to be anarchy. That's not what they intended it to be. And also, the technology has changed within the last couple hundred years, if you haven't noticed. So the Founding Fathers obviously didn't foresee that. So we can regulate guns. There's no question about it. We can do it. It's just the fact that people don't want to do it. I think I'm going to end it here, and I'm sure that I could go on and find more comments from gun nuts, but maybe we'll make it a two-parter. Who knows? We'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Even if you're a gun nut, go crazy in the comments. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm sure I'll get tons of thumbs down because gun nuts will stumble upon this and get so angry. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll put links to my social media in the description below. So come follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and check out my blog. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.